after having a clear understanding of what different organization structures are all about and what are the different types of organization, that is formal and informal, let us also now let me draw your attention to another important function which is performed in an organization, that is that of delegation. You would have often heard of this term as delegation, that you delegate your work to someone, right? Now let us now have a clear understanding of what this word exactly means, that is delegation. Delegation can be defined as a process a manager follows in dividing the work assigned to him so that he performs only that part of the work which by virtue of his position in the organization only he can perform, and he gets others to help him with whatever remains, right? Meaning, see, one single manager cannot perform all the tasks with equal effectiveness and efficiency, right? He needs people to help him out with work, right? So there are certain jobs which only he, by the virtue of his position, only he can perform. Okay. Again, I am coming to the example of your school level, right? A principal standalone, she cannot perform the entire job on her own, right? That is why she delegates, she transfers some of her work to the vice principal. Similarly, vice principal transfers some of her work to the HMs, right? But there are some part of the jobs which only a principal by virtue of his or her position can perform, right? She retains that part of the job to herself and the remaining jobs she delegates, right? She has other people to help her out with whatever remains, right? Now, there are three basic important elements of delegation, right, which we need to understand, that is authority, responsibility and accountability. Till now we were really talking about, developing authority responsibility relationships, defining authority and responsibility relationships. You would have noticed that these two words, authority and responsibility, they have been used simultaneously, right? Now let's understand what is authority and what is responsibility and what is accountability. Authority is right to command. It is the right to get the work done from others, right? That is a right of a superior to get the work done from his subordinate. That is what is authority. It is always going to flow downwards. That is from the superior to the subordinate. Superior is going to get the work done from the subordinate, right? And authority can be delegated. अगर आपको किसी से काम कराना है तो आपको उसको necessary power भी देनी पड़ेगी, right? Like let us say, again coming back to the example of fate, ठीक है? If you have delegated the task of tentage and all, ये कराने का काम अगर आपने admin officer को दे दिया, right? So you will have to delegate the necessary authority also, that he invites the tenders from different people who are going to do the tentage, right? और जिसका भी least possible आएगा उसको वो select करके उससे वो काम कराएगा, right? But necessary amount of authority has to be given to the AO, right? Now coming to the next element of delegation, that is responsibility. Responsibility matlab it is obligation to perform the duty assigned. It is the obligation. This is a right. Authority is the right. Responsibility is the obligation, right? With the authority also comes the responsibility. It is the obligation to perform the assigned task. अगर आपको कुछ काम दिया गया है, if superior has delegated some kind of work to the subordinate, it becomes his responsibility to complete the task. It is his obligation to perform the assigned task. It flows upwards in a scalar chain. It flows upward, meaning from a subordinate to superior. Subordinate is always responsible to the for completion of the work to superior. Now responsibility can be partially delegated. मैंने अपनी responsibility share कर ली, ठीक है? अगर मैंने अपना कुछ काम अपने subordinate को transfer कर दिया, along with that मैंने थोड़ा सा responsibility भी अपनी share कर ली है, that is the obligation to perform the assigned task. So this can be partially delegated, not completely delegated. Now coming to the third element of delegation, that is accountability. Accountability means answerability for performance of the task. Good or bad, you are accountable. ठीक है, कि आपकी परफॉर्मेंस कैसी रही है. नाउ दिस ऑल्सो फ्लोज अपवर्ड्स, दैट इज फ्रॉम द सबऑर्डिनेट्स टू सुपीरियर्स. This is from the subordinates to the superiors. This can never be delegated. Accountability can never be delegated at all, right? If let us say a marketing manager